And that kind of energy that you just heard there from the huddle, and no quits is the motto for Calumet. And Wichita State, Chris, what's going through the minds now, particularly that first bowler who's going to take the first shot to start the road to the national championship?
I think that's often the hardest one to take. Your nerves are going. You're really, the adrenaline's really flowing through you, and it's hard to get settled in. And that will be the challenge for both of these teams early on, is to get settled in and go ahead and make some good shots.
And what makes this event so unique, and if you're used to watching, let's say, for example, see Chris bowl on TV or see his wife Linda bowl on television, the atmosphere here is a lot different. It is a very emotion-charged atmosphere, whereas you're a lone wolf. You're competing for you, but here, as you did when you played at Wichita State, you're competing for so much more than that, emotionally.
And while individually there is a lot of pressure on you, having 4, 5, and in some cases 8 other people, and sometimes everyone from home as well behind you, depending on how you look at it, can either be very beneficial or can be a lot more pressure.
So Daniel Locke will get the honor of starting the national championship game. You can't do any better than that.
No, that's a great, great opening shot.
Right back at you, Wichita. The numbers, by the way, represent the frames. So we'll see Jacob Peters again in the 6th frame. Okay, nobody's nervous, Chris.
Well, this is not these guys' first rodeo, that's for sure. Most of this team has bowled before.
Wichita State dominated in the early rounds. This is what we're looking at today. Best 2 out of 3 wins. It's called the Baker format. So you have 5 players to bowl 1 complete game, and each player gets 2 frames. That's why you see number 16, for example, bowls 1 and 6. And yes, you can substitute. Toby Kraus. And that got away from him.
Often a mistake when you're a little bit nervous and you got things going, you'll get a little fast with your swing. And this ball will be inside a target. He's trying to hit about the 6th board. That's at 9 right there. Cuts right through the heart for the 4 count.
I'm getting a little advice from Coach Mike Kubacki about how to attack this. Is there a way to attack this?
Yes, you can make this spare. You have to cut the 3 pins, very thinly and slide it over into the 4. If you can do this, slide it into the 4, but you have to have enough angle for the ball to come through the back, and the ball has to still take out the 9. It's not easy to do, but it is possible.
And he'll get 4 out of that, so an open frame in the 2nd.
Drive that bus, baby, drive that bus.
And an early opportunity for the Shockers.
Well, this week players are bowling on a 40-foot sport-compliant pattern, and you'll see many of the players, they've started out practice playing up this 6, 7, 8 range. As they move in, they'll move into this part in around 14, 15.
Can Wichita take advantage? Yes, they can, of the open frame, and a double to begin for the Shockers. Mentioned that they were almost unstoppable in getting here. Lost only 2 games out of the 18 they bowled, and they have the early 24-pin advantage.
Well, they really haven't shown much weakness. They have a lot of rev rate, they have a lot of power players, but they've been so good at going up the lane early that there just hasn't been a place for the guys to attack them and their opponents to get an early lead.
And that got away. And with Brooklyn, it's still a strike. Not pretty, but it's a strike.
And this is nerves again. This is inside a target. This hits almost the 12th board. He has a little more power than the 2nd player. But again, one of the things that's impressive about this Calumet team is they play together. So far, 2 of these shots have gotten away.
Buried in the pocket. What a solid start for the 2-time defending champions. They haven't come close to even missing.
It speaks huge volumes that a guy like Ronnie Sparks, and as talented as he is, a Rookie of the Year, a contender for Player of the Year every year, can bowl in the 3-hole.
And that's what we mean when you referred to at the top of the broadcast about how deep and maybe the best team in college bowling history.
As much as that pains me to say.
Come on, boy.
Little light. And Calumet down that big 34. Now, there are a lot of schools here. McHenry, for example, in the women's championship, we'll see a little bit later on. They're not big-name universities or colleges. Calumet in Whiting, Indiana, they're called the Crimson Wave. It's very small enrollment, and they were founded by the Missionaries of the Precious Blood. They just got a gym on campus recently.
All right, Sammy.
And easy cover that time.
I really like Sammy's game. I think one of the things that's understated about this Calumet team is how well they played together, particularly on the fresh.
You talk about playing together. What do you mean by that in this sport?
I mean, all of them playing the same trajectory through the front part of the lane, and with Calumet, that's pretty direct. Up around the 7th, 8th, 9th board, they're all within about 3 boards of each other. They can work off each other as the lanes move.
And Josh Blanchard is the first Shocker to not strike. A senior, 2-time Junior USA team member, and a 2-time first-team All-American.
Well, this shot is inside a target, and you watch the ball coming right at you. He crossed about the 14th board there, but he got around a little bit slow. Hooked up high. He'll make a little move.
And he'll cover that. Wichita State in command here early. The open frame in the second really hurting Calumet.
Looking there at Mark Lewis, former Wichita State Shocker Leslie Bone, wife of Parker Bone.
Ryan Gleghorn averaged over 203. Ooh, and he leaves behind the 410. Well, Ryan Gleghorn was asked what it would mean to bowl for a national championship.
It's been something that I've been wanting to do since 4 years ago when we first started our program at Cal College, and it would mean a great big deal for me. I'd be excited and ecstatic to make it there, just to have that opportunity.
Trying to go for that 410, he got it!
Yes.
This is not something that even a professional does every day.
No, less than a 10% chance of making this spare. Watch as he hits the left side of the 4-pin and hits it perfectly as it slides directly into the 10. Can't draw it up any better than that. Much needed boost for this Calumet team. They've come out after that initial strike a little nervous. A couple of shots inside a target. Looks like some moves, then they've thrown it a little too firm past to the next two.
John Zerbinski, the anchor for the Shockers. And he almost had the same leave. The 10-pin was late in dropping, so a solid 9 for another 2-time Team USA member. The depth on this Wichita State team, you've talked about it, is just remarkable.
Yes, Josh Blanchard has really made a splash the last couple of months with the European Tour and the High Rollers. John Zerbinski is bowled with myself and the rest of a lot of the PBA guys on Team USA. He and Josh both need to make a move, though, in this right lane. Under the TV lights, the lanes will break down faster.
No problem there, and a very solid start for Wichita State. They open up with a turkey, and they add 2 spares on top of that, while Calumet has struggled to find the strike balls. There's your score after 5. The Shockers, looking for championship number 10, have the 34-pin advantage over the Crimson Wave of Calumet. The Shockers have been here before. It's Calumet's first time in the finals, and right now experience is trumping enthusiasm.